What's gonna happen to my vessels?
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
Yes, things are fine.
She seems worried.
Don't worry about her.
Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I'd rather not talk about it.
I understand.
I'd better be going.
See you. It's never been this quiet here. What's gonna happen to my vessels?
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl. I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer? The Convention of Thorns, an important step in our history. A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates, Camarilla against anarchs. A copy of a treatise on metal transfusion. Dijon gave it to Hazel when they first started working together. The First Inquisition. The first time our supremacy was challenged.
Mr. Bazori, your child is in his office.
Caleb, by all means, make yourself right at home.
Fang is in her rightful place on the cover of this type of magazine. There's a reason I chose her.
You? Here? How extraordinarily rare. To what do I owe the honor?
Enough, Beryl. Did you speak with Fang?
I'm not one to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your retainers.
Did you speak to her?
So much fuss about nothing.
You'd better confess.
Are you threatening me? That's beneath you.
You're not an authority on dignity.
I ran into her recently, it's true, but we hardly said a word to one another.
stop it right now. I know you saw Fang. Right here. I already told you not to speak to her again.
Come again?
Don't try to deny it. You spoke to her.
Fine, she came here. I don't see what the problem is.
What exactly is driving you?
Unlike you, I don't try to control the lives of those around me. Fang still enjoys a certain degree of freedom, doesn't she, to choose whom she sees? We ran into each other by accident, and we didn't speak for long.
She is mine. She cannot decide for herself. I won't have her coming anywhere near you.
You might want to rethink your methods. If she didn't need to talk to me so badly, I would have refused to see her. I really don't see the harm in it.
It's not your business to understand.
I'd really like to, though. I just wanted to give her some advice. To help guide her through this brave, dangerous new world. When it comes to that, I don't think you're doing enough. Am I mistaken?
You needn't worry. She's been introduced to everyone. I don't intend to leave her defenseless among the drooling predators skulking in the corners. And she might just surprise you.
I'm sure she will.
She's worth far more than your estimations.
Is she worth more than me?
Are you sure you want an answer to that?
All right, all right. I never took you for the fatherly sort. But I guess anyone at any age is vulnerable to the winds of change. Your concern for Fang is to your credit. It really is. However, I can't help making comparisons with my own past experiences.
You shouldn't.
It was long ago, I admit. But I'm still your only child.
You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Although I do regret the unfortunate turn our relationship has taken. I'm worried about Fang, honestly. You would worry too if you were in my shoes. I just want to make sure she doesn't go through the same thing I did. The crushing weight of disappointment. The distance. The disdain.
Beryl, I'm sorry. I made a mistake with you.
A mistake? What, pray tell, did you ever do to make things go awry? You dropped me in a hornet's nest and left me to dodge the stings. I've been nothing but alone from the very start. You gave up, Caleb. And did you ever once consider fixing your mistake?
That's why I'm doing things differently with Fang. I don't want to make the same mistake again.
Ah, such eloquence, which never ceases to surprise me. You've always wielded words with such deadly skill. But there is one small detail it seems you have forgotten. You won't be there for her much longer.
What?
Think about it. You're the oldest person in this city now. It gnaws at you like it does all the elders. You can feel it inside you, and it will grow and grow until you finally give in. How long do you think it will be before you leave too?
You feel the beckoning too. You're not much younger than I am, but you're far weaker. I'll be able to resist as long as it takes to finish my work here. But will you?
I don't know.
That's the difference between you and I. I don't doubt. I will stay.
If I understand you right, and I think I do, we're of the same mind. With a few minor differences.
Is that so?
We both want what's best for Fang. So then why can't I see her?
You are my progeny, my only child, and I'm here to ask you one very simple thing. Think of it as a favor if you want.
But you don't see that I think I'd be doing you a disfavor. Fang needs to talk, and your only child is a precious resource, don't you think? For once, I was looking out for someone. I know you think I'm selfish, a manipulator, but things aren't always black or white. You of all people should know that. I'm worried for Fang. She needs someone, because you can't be there for her all the time.
I thought I had made myself clear. I don't want to hear about any more secret meetings between the two of you.
Have no fear. I know what I must do.
Watch yourself.
I think we've said just about all there is to say.
One more thing. A little bird told me about your operations in South America.
My dear sire, for someone I thought had no interest in business, you're remarkably well informed.
Nothing can stay hidden from the court forever.
Where's the harm in it?
Your actions have consequences for the Kamariya that you haven't considered. You could endanger the Masquerade. Don't you think you should speak to the prince about it?
I don't see how my personal business concerns her. She's already having enough trouble getting us out of this mess she's dragged us into.
You hold her responsible for this?
She's in charge, isn't she? She hosted the party. It's only natural to hold her accountable, isn't it?
If the court were to hear what you just said...
Ha! Do you really think I'm the only one who thinks this?
You'd best be going.
I wasn't planning on staying, be sure of that.
It's been a pleasure. Please excuse me if I don't see you out.
He's unpredictable. I need to take more drastic measures if I want to stop him from causing trouble.
Caleb.
Caius again. They locked it down. Too late to go see him. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him.
Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I'm planning to make up for it with Fang.
Oh, so that's why you've become attached to that girl.
I'm not attached to her. She's an asset for the Camarilla, and a necessary balance to temper Beryl's wicked games.
Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time, otherwise they end up making a mess of things.
But trying to influence them is pointless.
You must be subtle about it, that's all. I give Mem just enough freedom so that she doesn't completely hate me. But I know exactly how to make her do whatever I want. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole. What a nightmare. It's chaos here.
Let's get straight to the point. Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare, but Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like to feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Reading tarot. For those who are uncertain as to what the future holds for them. Reading tarot. For those who are uncertain as to what the future holds for them.
There's no time to make it pretty.
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Drury's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb,
My prince.
we were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him, and that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
I spoke with Beryl. He's up to something.
The problem with your child is that he's always up to something. How am I supposed to know if it's not in my best interest?
We must keep an eye on him.
You're not telling me everything, Caleb. I'm your prince. You know you can trust me.
I don't understand him anymore. I forbade him from seeing Zufang, but he disobeyed. It's all one big, twisted game for him.
That's a strictly personal matter.
Who knows what he's really hiding?
Of course, like all the others. It's impossible to have anyone you can trust in this court, even in the middle of the worst crisis we've ever faced. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Katapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it. I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly.
All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince.
I'm guessing you tipped Bazori off to the traitor?
Yes.
Any news?
Nothing since Richard's report. My city is in danger. Everything I've built, all the dreams I've invested. That Judas is a threat to everything.
Not for long. You'll bounce back.
Yes. I can't stop thinking about the Chantry. I can't believe those cowards abandoned us.
I screwed up. I know.
What's done is done, but you're not the only one to blame for it. Osborn also shares the blame. And I'll make him pay for it, sooner or later.
Are you gonna make me pay for it too?
That all depends on you. Speaking of which, I have a new favor to ask of you.
What a surprise.
About what I told you earlier concerning Delson and Long Island. I've got a plan.
Oh, I know that look. Hazel.
This is the best moment to strike.
That sounds like the definition of rushing into things.
Yes, but we have no choice. Delson?
We need to blind them, from the inside.
They know too much about it. We have to change that.
For that, we need someone to hit them with a surprise attack from within their compound.
I wish that person luck.
It's you.
That's way out of my league.
Hazel's not asking for your opinion. You're in no position to negotiate, not after the Hartford fiasco. You should be grateful you're getting a second chance to prove your worth.
It's your chance to prove to the court once and for all that you deserve a place on the council, MM. After this, you'll be untouchable.
I sure hope so. All right. How do I get on this island? By boat?
I doubt it. Coastline's under surveillance.
So I swim across. All right. What then?
Kaya's wrote a program that can help us. If you can upload it into their system, it'll corrupt all the data they've got in their database. Their systems, the archives, it'll all be lost.
Allowing us to cover our tracks.
It's our best shot at making it through this. You'll just have to insert it into a computer that's on their network. That's absolutely essential. Any questions?
Your plan sounds pretty old school. There's no way to do that remotely?
We've tried, but Leto's agents weren't able to breach their security. Their network's too highly protected. That's why we need you.
I see. Am I allowed to take a partner? I'd feel a lot better about this if I had someone covering my back.
I understand, but that's not possible. We're already taking a risk by sending a person in to infiltrate their hideout.
Got it. So, let me get this straight. You want me to infiltrate the enemy base alone? The same enemies who just slaughtered half the camp.
Quit whining. You can have help.
Oh, really?
Your task will not be easy. You'll need a diversion while you sabotage their system. A raid near their base, for example.
That could work. Who will you send?
I refuse to sacrifice any more of our people. So we might as well send in the riffraff. The Anarchs could do the job.
Come again?
You heard me. I want you to go see them and convince them to go with you to Long Island.
You're trying to thin their herd.
I'm balancing the scales, that's all.
They can't stand us. They'll never agree to fight for us. Let alone on their own without us.
They don't have to know they'll be alone. Lead them to believe our forces will join up with them. The SI is a threat to the entire city. They're just as concerned as we are.
Send someone else to negotiate. A real emissary.
No one else knows the Anarchs as well as you do. They go to your clubs, don't they? They know who you are. They know they can trust you.
I barely know them. I see a couple of them once in a while, but that's it. We're not exactly friends.
You're still in the best position to negotiate with them.
Yeah. Right then. Let's say I agree.
You don't have a choice, but I'll humor you.
How am I supposed to go about it? I can't just go chasing down every Anarch I know to ask for their help.
There's only one Anarch that counts. Their Baron.
Randall Thane?
That's right. He's in charge of the various Anarch gangs in the region. I don't know where he is right now. You'll need to use your network.
I've got an idea of who I can ask. What can I use as leverage if they try to negotiate?
Money, favors. Offer them whatever seems useful.
All right.
One more thing. Don't tell anyone about your task, not even your sire. I don't want the Council poking their noses into this. That will be all. I'm counting on you, MM. Be careful, and good luck.
I'm gonna need it.